Hi, my name's Russell Podgorsek, and I wrote the music for The Two of Swords. I wanted to say a few things about the piece itself and about the artist whose work you'll hear tonight before we get the show started. I've been a fan of Kelly Luce's writing since I read her short story collection, 3 Scenarios in Which Hannah Sasaki Grows a Tail. Several years after discovering that, I was able to work with her on a small project collaborating with a literary magazine called Nanofiction. During the process of that collaboration, Kelly and I spoke about doing a larger project together. That larger project started when Kelly wrote the story Two of Swords Counterpoint that was published by the Arkansas International. Together, she and I adapted that story into the form you'll hear and see tonight. A large part of that process had to do with how the story is told. When you read at your own pace, but when you listen to music or view theater, the duration and the speed of the storytelling is dictated by the performance itself. That meant we had to change the order in which certain things happened in the story, but it also meant that we needed a different kind of framing to make the story work in the dramatic context. I came up with the idea of having a tarot reading as a frame story, a kind of superstructure that not only becomes self-referential and is obviously appropriate to the content of the story, but also provides a kind of framework in which we can understand how the experiences of the narrator have a greater depth, even though the story itself is only told from a single perspective. So once we went through this process and all of these ideas kind of came together, I realized I was going to need a really talented group of people to make all of this come together. And I have to say I'm privileged to have colleagues like the folks who you'll see tonight. Paige Stevens, mezzo soprano who sings the role of the narrator. Invoke, multi-string ensemble / band based in Austin, Texas, who perform the role of the orchestra and chorus. Rachael Holt, a visual artist who designed a custom tarot deck that helped set up the structure of the story. Those tarot cards are read by Lena Hill, actor and voice artist who plays the part of the tarot reader. And of course, as I mentioned before, Kelly Luce, the author. Lastly, I should say, this would not be possible without support from the Butler School of Music, Austin Chamber Music Center, the Arkansas International, of course, and Nanofiction. The Two of Swords is a great example of how the greater arts community can really come together and make something special, and that members of that community are people you'll hear from tonight. So I hope you enjoy what they have to say, the context they give you to understand the performance, and enjoy the Two of Swords. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Kelly Luce. I'm a fiction writer and the author of Two of Swords, the flash fiction piece that Russell adapted to create the operetta. And I just had a blast going back and forth with Russell on the edits for this. Normally I just work in solitude and no one sees what I write until the end, but having a collaborator really punched up that process. And, thinking about staging something made the way that I wrote things like objects and physical gesture a bit different, and I felt like I had more permission to go towards maybe melodrama rather than just very subtle drama in a literary sense. And so it was a blast. I felt a bit freed actually by having a collaborator, seeing all my drafts, and maybe not nitpicking on any of the things that I would have found fault with, but pushing in a direction that I never would have considered developing.
Hello, my name is Rachael Holt. I designed and illustrated the tarot cards for the Two of Swords. I started out just by reading the words to the story by Kelly Luce, and taking inspiration from that and looking at a lot of classic tarot decks that I felt like people would recognize, and just sort of recreating them in my own style with these elements that inspired me from the text of the story. I'll show you my original drawings of the first two cards that I designed, which is the Two of Swords, of course, the namesake of the performance, and the Fool, who is the protagonist in the story with her faithful Rottweiler there. So the drawings started out as pencil and ink drawings, and then I uploaded them into Photoshop to add the color digitally. And here is an example of the Fool in its final form. This was a really, really fun project to be a part of. I appreciate the collaborative aspect of it. I personally love illustrating stories. So that was really fun for me. And just to see my work presented in this unique way, to be a part of this performance, was so fun and exciting. And I am really grateful to have been a part of it.
Hi, I'm Paige Stevens. I'm the lone singer and narrator of this piece. The challenge for me of the Two of Swords is acting and singing kind of alone, which isn't totally true, right? The tarot card reader is there framing the action between scenes, and Invoke String Quartet is playing their hearts out and occasionally even singing with me. But I don't get to interact with them for 99% of the 50 minutes of the show. And I think that's appropriate because the character in this piece is in an abusive relationship and feeling very alone and isolated. So I'm having to embody that as a performer myself, and I think that adds kind of a layer of authenticity to the emotions that she's experiencing.
Hi, my name is Lena Hill, and I play the tarot card reader in Two of Swords. So my process for this was quite interesting because I'd never done a project like this before. So the first thing that I did is I actually went to two tarot card readers to see kind of what their process was like, how they laid cards out, and then maybe get a little glimpse into my own life or a little kick. It was really fun and interesting. And then the second thing that I did is I wanted to tackle the story of this really interesting piece and see what I could add to it that wasn't already on the paper. And what I found was that combined with Paige as the main protagonist and the quartet behind us adding to a storytelling aspect that plays a character as well, I wanted to give a different dimension, something that was a little bit more antagonistic, something that was a little bit more affrontive and unapologetic to what she had been through.
Hello, my name is Zach Matteson. I'm a violinist and singer in the multi-string ensemble/band Invoke, and we're really excited to be sharing the Two of Swords with you all tonight. When Russell first approached us to begin work on his opera, we were really excited to see how he would incorporate our abilities as a string quartet and our abilities as a vocal ensemble. And what he's done with it is really incredible. We become sort of this Grecian chorus, not only playing the music, but also commenting on what's happening with Paige and Lena on the stage. So that combination really lends itself to not only bringing us into the story, but also bringing the audience that much more into the music and what's happening on the stage and the connections between the two. We really hope you enjoy the Two of Swords.
Well, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
So everyone who comes here is seeking something. There's always the obvious. A message from a lost loved one, a peek into the future of one's romantic life, or jackass wanting to know tomorrow's lottery numbers. But deeper desires reveal themselves within each reading. Larger questions emerge along with a more intense need for answers. What arcane patterns dictate all events. Where does one fit into these cosmic machinations? But then again, you may just want help finding your lost car keys. Whatever the case, the cards help reveal what is already all around us. They help give shape to the shapeless. They help find an intelligible voice in the cacophony. There's a proper way, of course, handed down mother to daughter, throughout the centuries. And so we begin. The fool, representing the protagonist, the querent, the one who seeks. And so, seekers, we must focus on the problem at hand. The question is asked, and asked again. The Empress, representing the germination of an idea before it is fully born.
What's the title? I've asked politely. A professor I never met was telling me about an old student thesis. Joke.
Two of Swords.
A blindfolded woman in front of an angry sea, arms crossed and in each hand a long blade. In one she said, handing the card to me.
The Hermit. Her lantern is used to guide the unknowing.
It burned my fingertips. The two of swords. Just cornfields at a crossroads. Nowhere near anything.
And now the search begins in earnest. The moon, La Lune. Her light is stolen from the sun, so she represents illusion. What is it that you cannot yet see clearly?
The archive smells just like she said.
The star. It signifies inspiration and the emergence of opportunities. It is an auspicious and hopeful card to receive in the first quartet.
The paper was thick but brittle. Thick, brittle. And the charm of comfort no brooms yet, score touching in the cards I see. Viola and strings, written in 1955. Who writes a concerto for Anonymous did to own up to it all.
The two of coins. In this alignment, it can only mean one thing: a desperate need to balance disparate elements in one's life. Following the moon and the star, and with respect to the Two of Swords, this will not be an easy path.
It's mournful if you listen for between the story words and the earthen bases. There's something sneaky, something twisted in the lies. It's between the story words and the earthen bases. There's something defiantly playful in those lines.
Fortuna's Wheel. It is a powerful card signifying change in the querent's life. And here, at the end of the first quartet, it encompasses all that came before it. But keep your minds open, seekers, for changes of this magnitude are often imperceptible because of our limited perspectives, until they are almost complete.
I always thought that a viola played well might soothe a crying infant. The second theme, a mother's lullaby. The old professor insisted I find this, but why did I listen to her? Why does anyone do anything?
Dreams. The land in which our subconscious is queen. She rules whimsically, does she not? You, what did you last dream of? Playing with my dog. Ah! The queen treats you well, her whims sway in your favor. And you, you look, how shall we say, haunted? She's not always such a gentle nursemaid, right? In dreams, complex thoughts are distilled into images, personal metaphors that we can use in waking life. Sometimes we tap into that wisdom through thoughts not yet overly wrought. And with luck, in those thoughts we find grains of the most basic of truths.
Scribbles in the margins, practically illegible.
Blood and bones, indeed. Ew. What does Cardi Riddell? Trapped by your own perspective. A common pitfall. I knew a young woman once who needed some guidance, some inspiration to change her life. A musician, like these folks. It took her a few spins of the wheel to get beyond her myopic view. How will you fare? And you, what have you got?
Tower.
Yeah, it's a sign of danger, of a coming crisis. Notice that the door to the tower is locked. What does the sign above it read?
17.
There is no sign. Sometimes things in life are defined by the things we cannot see. Like the wind, like expectation, like love.
I dreamed of a house full of doors. Each one locked against me. Above the locks, there were signs. That's not the way things are done. Don't you know your place? You'll regret it.
Let us continue with the reading. The second quartet, a reflection of the first. The Emperor. The ultimate male ego. Wisdom was never found in a bottle, but as the Six of Cups shows us here, a pale sort of happiness covered with naivety is the stuff of spirits. The harsh realities, as you know, seekers, only come with sobriety. The devil.
Trey hit me. He hit me twice.
The harshest reality in fear, in bondage.
I thought my only option was to run. And hear the viola runs.
Darkest before the dawn, as they say. The hangman, he signifies the breaking of old patterns, of letting go. It's not a matter of if nor when, but rather how.
He tried to choke me the day before the proper pain. I held it in my dreams. A sword demands action. Sharpened and wielded, an explanation point of the difference between running away and escape.
The second triad, in which all that has come before is sewn together. The Five of Coins, generally interpreted as a talisman of isolation, but the figure is cloaked, protected, protecting.
One night I was waiting Trey out, hoping he would drink himself to sleep before I got home. One night I was
Death. He always knows before we do.
The two of swords lying on my desk began to twitch. The cord arced upward like a Japanese bridge. It paused and it paused, and then the blindfolded woman in front of an angry sea. Her lips parted. She whispered,
The crux of the tale here. The magician. She has mastered the suits, unlocked infinite potential, and her cloak is open to reveal the never-ending cycle. Mother to daughter, fullest potential tapped.
I reached out and pulled down her blindfold. I looked into her eyes and looked back into my own. My own. And then the cord ignited. Its edges curled like a smile. And then it was gone.
The final card. An exclamation point of fire for some fortunes, and for others a softer denouement. I caution you though, are all mysteries best revealed? I've only seen this card one other time as the final card. It is the best of all possible outcomes. The clouds are parted by a cherub, a childlike harbinger of new beginnings.